नित्यानन्दं परमसुखदं केवलं ज्ञानमूर्तिं द्वन्द्वातीतं गगनसदृशं तद्वमस्यादिलक्ष्यम् एकं नित्यं विमलमचलं सर्वधी साक्षिभूतं भावातीतं त्रिगुणरहितं Sadgurum Tam Namami. Nithyanandam, everyone, and once again, welcome to this very special series on the occasion of the 45th Chaturmasya of Swamiji, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam. And today also we have a very special guest. His name is Shri Vedatma Aya from Dallas. And so when we were asking Shri Vedatma Aya, what would you like to speak about? And his response was immediately Bhakti. So today's topic is Bhakti, and Swamiji has spoken so much about Bhakti. Swamiji has revealed that Bhakti is the muscle memory, bio-memory, and it's not just an emotion. So actually, I would like to welcome Aya, Nithyananda Maya. Thank you so much for joining us today on this show. And I would like to invite you to share about yourself, introduce yourself, and also if you can tell us why did you choose this topic, Bhakti?
Nithyanandama, my name is Sri Vedatmananda. I hope I'm audible. I'm guessing I'm audible. So my name is Sri Vedatmananda. I'm from Dallas, Texas, but originally I was born and brought up in a small town in Uttar Pradesh in India, Bharat, a town called Agra. Most of my childhood has been in that city only, and interestingly, that we have been like as a child, as a kid, we have been told by our grandmothers and grandfathers about some of the things specific to Agra. And one of the things is which always stood out to me is that the Shiva. There are 5 main temples of Shiva at 5 different directions in Agra, which somehow always I found interesting. And later on, I realized that I'm kind of a always leaning towards Shiva as my as my Ishta Devata, although our Kula Devata is Shri Hanuman. Um, so, but as a kid, to answer your question, as a kid, I never got myself associated with visiting temples or having darshans, and somehow that feeling never kicked in. And that went in well into my teenage years and when I was in college. But that there was one day and one moment that kind of changed all of it for me, and that was when one of this Shiva temple that I was talking about. It has a very great significance. It's a very old temple. Its name is Shri Mankameshwar Temple. That's a Shiva temple. And my brother and I, we were going. My grandmother's house. It's very close to my grandmother's house, and we were visiting there. And on the way back, my brother insisted me to go, and I was very reluctant to a point. Like, why do you want to take a detour? It's already so late. We have to go back home, and so on and so forth. I was making all sorts of excuses, and then, but somehow he persuaded me to go to the temple. We went there, and the evening arati was going on at the time. They were about to close the temple, and the evening arati was going on. And right after when the arati was, because the arati was going on, my brother again, forced me to step into the temple and take the arati, and which again I was very reluctant to say, just let's go home. But my brother insisted. He's a much he's much elder than me. I have to respect that, and so I went there. I took the arti, and we were just about to leave, and they started singing a very specific song, which is very specific to that temple. And I don't know what happened, but that was a rush of something just flew through me, in me. It's very hard to explain at that time. And that was, I mean, back then I would probably describe it as, oh, I just suddenly fell in love with the song, or I certainly fell in love with the temple. I don't know what it was, but that was the day. I was starting my graduation at the time. That was the day, and till I completed my graduation for 3 years, I never missed one day of going to the temple. If I was in the city, I would go in that temple, and I would stay there, do all the sevas till midnight and whatever. I just couldn't come out. I couldn't bear myself to miss going to the temple and get the arati in the evenings. And so the long story short, or long story long, is I later on, I'm kind of a very slow learner in that sense. So later on, I realized that with that moment, something flew in me, that Shiva just, infused a huge surge of bhakti, which I later on realized. And every time I hear the song and I sing that song, that's the emotion that that now I can relate with. So I experienced bhakti much before I actually understood what it really meant. And only after, after Swamiji sort of called me, I met Swamiji, and a few months and years down the line, I realized, okay, what I experienced, the emotion, the feeling that I experienced, is what in our Vedic tradition is described as bhakti. So that is why I chose this. My knee-jerk reaction response was bhakti, because that is probably one of the most strong expressions that I relate with Swamiji, with Cosmos, with all the gods and goddesses, and of course Swamiji is, when we do the puja. I always, I remember Shiva, I remember the Mankameshwar, and then it just brings one of the mantras that when we chant in the puja. It's like Sarvadeva Devi Swarupaya, like embodiment of all the gods and goddesses that we know and understand, and probably we don't even know, and then offer that to Swamiji. So yeah, from that perspective, without dragging it too long, that's why I chose Bhakti, and that's why I said Bhakti. Yes, ma'am.
So beautiful, Aya. It's such a beautiful sharing. And actually, my question is, when did you meet Swamiji? I mean, you said after a few months, after you had this spiritual experience at the temple, Swamiji came into your life. So how did this happen exactly? And what was the emotion? I'm guessing, you after experiencing bhakti, at the temple, and you've met Swamiji, who is the incarnation of Paramashiva himself. You would have had an immense spiritual awakening. So how was it for you?
So this experience at the temple and my association with the temple and Shiva in general, I was always sort of a quote unquote fan of Shiva from the start. I don't know why, but that's how I always liked looking at Shiva's pictures, and listening stories about Shiva, like Puranic stories about Shiva. And so this was when I was doing my graduation, and I met, which I finished in, I think, in 2004 or 5. But I met Swamiji for the very first time in a two-way session in Atlanta. And I physically met Swamiji in 2000, I think it was 15, the Kumbh Mela, Ujjain Kumbh Mela. And I'm not uh, like for a very long time I did not connect the two for various reasons, because I was it was for many people. I hear many stories about some devotees that the moment they saw Swamiji, they just wanted to go and go near him and attend the programs. For me, it was slightly different. I was, the inhibition that I always carried was always there. And then, that's why I kind of took a while. And the beauty of that journey was that Swamiji, through all those times, was very patient, so to speak. And so much so that I remember. and I always describe that as the one of, not one, probably hands down the best decision of my life, is during Kumbh Mela, Swamiji was giving Shiva Diksha and Vishesha Diksha. And the it was announced that whoever wants to take Shiva Diksha and Vishesha Diksha, they can come in the hall. And the program started early in the morning. And I got to know that, one of the requirements is that you have to do daily Shiva Puja. And the moment I heard that, again, I was like, oh no, I like Shiva, but I cannot do puja every day. That's not possible. I'm not that disciplined in life. This, that, whatever. And uh, so I think the program started early in the morning, and then it was going on. And by the noon, I was again debating with my decision so much that I started regretting it. I think there was a lot of FOMO, but but that kind of turned into regret in a couple of hours. And then I was like, okay, I had a great opportunity, and I think I missed it. Then lo and behold, 3:30 or 4 p.m., Swamiji announces, okay, this is the last chance. If you still think you want to come now, take the Diksha, and I will still initiate you. And I don't know why somebody just, I don't know who it was, but somebody just pat me in the back and just, said, go. I don't know who it was. I still remember there was a pat on my back and just said, go. Why don't you go? Uh, and I just went. I took the Diksha and I started doing the puja. I did not know the mantras. I could not do any ucharana of pronounce the mantras properly. But I went through that process. I learned it. I listened it, and I learned it, and like I did it mechanically for about a couple of months. But within a very short span of time, I realized that this is the best decision that I have taken in my life. No matter whatever the situation is, however down I'm feeling in life, or in situations, in career, in relationships, or whatever, the moment I sit in puja, the the level of cleansing happens, and the level of clarity that I achieve, uh, it's remarkable. And again, the only thing I can always remember and my favorite part in the puja is the inner puja. I'm forgetting what the name in what we call it in Sanskrit. The names that Swamiji has given, but the inner worship, the inner puja we do with of Swamiji. Uh,
Yes, the Manasa Puja, yes.
Puja we do. That's my favorite part. And I remember always that always after I'm a different person before I start the Manasa Puja, and I'm a different person when I'm done, when I've completed Manasa Puja. So every time I like always that one pat on the back. I don't know who it was, probably Swamiji himself. Just go, and I just remember just melt away. So all of this I'm describing, it is only coming from that bhakti dimension only. So the love that you feel, a being feels, or I feel, that that cosmos is caring for me, that I'm not alone, I'm not just thrown out there for nothing to care about. Like the love I feel that cosmos has towards me, it's kind of Swamiji being the embodiment of that. So that just brings like embodied like boltens the bhakti dimensions every day, every time I do the puja, and every time I get up from it. I always feel that that's the best blessing, the best thing I could. I mean, I can say that was my decision, but as I told you from the story, it was not really my decision. It was again some hand came coming and pushing me at the back and just making me take that diksha. So yeah, that's why. And every time I sit in the puja, the level of bliss I feel, take again, it's related to the bliss I felt during the song that I heard in the temple, but it is much more than that. It's not only much more than in the breadth of the emotion and the understanding that I have now, but it also is much more deeper. So because I have that deep understanding, I have the deep clarity, and I also have the same feeling, but much more strong and much more raw, so to be, to put it in that way.
So beautiful, Aya. It's really amazing to hear your journey. Literally, you had to be handheld, taken, sat in front of Paramashiva to to and infuse that experience. Okay, come on. And then again to do the Shiva Puja, literally Shiva has to pat on the back and say, okay, Swamiji has to guide you. Okay, now this is the chance. Even if you have not come so far, come now. So literally, as you said, Swamiji has guided you to give you that experience and for you to cherish that experience. So beautifully shared, Aya. Now, I do have a question. I mean, like for Swamiji, right, of all the spiritual practices, the most one thing that Swamiji says that he enjoys the most is the puja, that bhakti aspect. Like even in Adi Kailash, when we see Swamiji's staring at Nityanandeshwara, it is something else. Like how we stare at Swamiji, it will be Swamiji staring at Nityanandeshwara's beauty. It is most cherished. Even for Swamiji, like he enjoys that puja. Swamiji says he does that puja elaborately and enjoys every moment of it. So it is wonderful, like such a beautiful experience. Like you said, the clarity that happens during that puja, during the feeling that space of oneness, as well as that feeling that you're taken care. So beautifully said, Aya. But I do have a question. So when we grow up, we always have an idea of what bhakti is, or this is what bhakti is. Then Swamiji gives revelations after revelations. How did your understanding of what bhakti is changed after meeting Swamiji, after experiencing that devotion, love towards Swamiji?
I think actually on that front, Ma, it's something I've so whenever Swamiji is explaining his one of the stories that Swamiji shares about his journey with Arunagiri Yogeshwara, his guru, as Paramashiva as his guru. When I heard that, like that is, I mean, I always melt away when Swamiji, like every time I hear that discourse. But my there are it's difficult to explain difficult to explain, but there are no words that Swamiji has spoken that has that has deepened the bhakti experience. It's Swamiji's expressions, it's Swamiji's smile, it's Swamiji's attire that deepens the bhakti level for me. It's like he has spoken so much about bhakti, but that's okay. That I can understand that at an intellectual level, but I don't relate to that as something that Swamiji says, as but it's just how Swamiji is, and I will tell you another story. It's part of my inner awakening process. The inner awakening programs that Swamiji used to conduct in Bidadi, Bangalore, which are unfortunately no longer there. I was just fortunate enough to blessed enough to attend one of those programs, and we did the samskara dahana kriya, and I went through that process and everything, and went through the mechanics of whatever the instructions were given. I tried to do it as authentically as possible, and I went through it. I'm like, okay, fine. I don't know what is going on, what will happen without really experiencing it much. I've done some completion before. So people who don't know about Samskara Dhyana Kriya, I think they are missing out a huge deal in their lives, because it's one of the most transformative things that any human being can go through, and they must go through. Without Samskara Dhyana Kriya, it's like I feel like my life was not really worth living before that, and it's a different part after different being after that. But so after the process was done, we kind of all went to we went through the energy darshan, and I was just had my paper. I was just being just very happy. It's going on. Oh, we're gonna meet Swamiji and everything. So by the time I reached Swamiji, I bowed down, and Swamiji. I bowed down, and usually Swamiji would touch your either most of the times he would just touch your third eye, initiate, and then you bow down. I bow down and go back. That day, when I bowed down and I got up, Swami just waved. Right? It was not like he said anything, and the wave was also not anything in specific. Like you could now, when I think about it, you could interpret it in 20 different ways. But the moment he waved, I felt that he's pulling me for a hug. And I just went and hugged, and he hugged me. Like, the moment that hug happened, after that, I understood, okay, what is samskara dahana kriya? That is when everything started to come out. And and Swamiji could see that, where this wherever this idiot is stuck, I'm the idiot here, of course, and wherever this idiot is stuck, and just with this one hug, he unblocked it, and then everything sort of changed. So again, like, even that was nothing that he said. He was just there, and he just waved his hand, for all I can remember now. It was not like, okay, come here, I'll hug you, or no, nothing. He just waved his hand, and I got up, I just went there. So there was something which was, I was just moving without really any instructions or any words exchanged. And then again, I came out as that, and that was probably the only hug I got. Not probably, but that's actually only the physical hug I got. But yeah, I mean, so that's what I'm trying to explain. Like, just, I don't know how Swamiji communicated it, but he communicated, and that's how I still relate. Like, every time Swamiji comes to the darshans, I don't relate to what he's saying, but how he is. Just more than that, I would just, after a while, in the first few initial minutes, I would not even listen to what I'm supposed to listen. I'll just watch and observe and everything. So that's how I how I explain, and how my every darshan and every program and every session, how my bhakti experience gets deepened with Swamiji.
So beautifully said, yeah. No words necessary. That's all it is. And Swamiji actually says that, he talks to keep our mind busy, to get it occupied, but actually the work happens beyond the words in the silence. And he says, it's better you don't understand me. And people feel like, oh, I don't understand Tamil when Swamiji is speaking in Tamil, or when Swamiji is speaking in English. He said, good for you. That's the best thing for you. You don't need to understand. I just keep talking to keep your mind busy, but the work happens beyond that. So Swamiji is actually relating our being. It is so beautifully said, Aya. So, like, actually, what is bhakti? Now we can listen from Swamiji, what Swamiji has to say about bhakti.
सदाशिवसमारम्भा शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमा अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्ता वन्दे गुरुपरम्परा. I welcome you all with my love and respects. Today's subject for the morning satsang is Bhakti, the song of God. Breeze is the song of air, wave is song of the ocean, flower is song of the plant, fruit is song of the tree, creativity is song of the man, bhakti is song of God himself. The best things each one can present to the cosmos. Best thing air can present to the cosmos is a breeze. Best thing a plant can present to the world is a flower. Best thing a tree can present to the world is a fruit. Best thing ocean can present to us is waves. Best thing human beings can give to the cosmos is creativity. best thing God can give it to the world is bhakti. Understand? And I wanted to very clearly make you understand, best thing God can give it to the world is not enlightenment. It is bhakti. Because with enlightenment idea, there is something like ending. With bhakti, it is continuous flowing. Bhakti is beyond enlightenment. With bhakti, anything you have or not does not matter. Without bhakti, anything you have or not does not matter. Both ways, anything you have or not does not matter. I wanted to define, make you understand exactly what I mean by the word bhakti. Yesterday I was watching one of the YouTube video, very powerful video. I really enjoyed, so I wanted that to be shown not only to all the ashramites, even to all the BSP participants. Today it will be shown to you. In the morning session itself I will tell them to show. It's about how all you think as reality is illusion. Very clearly, scientifically they are proving what Ashtavakra was talking. Ashtavakra is a great saint, a Vedanti, Suddhadvaiti, much more pure than Krishna and Shankara. Krishna had a line of politician in him, after all, is a king. Shankara had a line of Brahminism in him, after all, is a born and brought up as an orthodox Brahmin. Just like, still I have line of Arunachala in me. Whether it is good or bad, that streak is there. Nothing can be done about it. But Ashtavakra, no streaks, no line, no theories, a straight practical, extraordinary expression. Very beautifully describes how whatever you experience as reality is illusion. He goes on describing from his experience. Now the scientists have proved it very clearly how whatever you call as reality you experience only in the parietal lobe of your brain. How the informations get in and how you experience the reality in the parietal lobe, and very beautifully they showed, very scientifically, with a lot of research and clear definitions, if your brain is removed, kept alive, brain can be kept alive even if your body is removed. How many bodies are kept alive even if the brain is removed? Brain can be kept alive even if it is removed from the body. If it is removed from the body and kept in a box alive, and feed all the information you are getting now through the computer. For example, now what all the informations you are receiving? You are seeing Swamiji is sitting and morning satsang is happening. You all just now finished Guru Puja in the ecstasy, just sitting in the silence, listening to the words pouring out of Master. This is the information you are receiving, this is the experience you are going through. If the same video record is fed to your brain through a computer, which is possible, and your brain will be experiencing this, that's all. Your brain will be exactly going through the same experience. Nothing more than a computer and feeder is required. Just the scene and the sound, if it is fed to your brain will exactly experience the whole thing as it is. If there are one or two components missing, for example, if that smell idea, if we can't project it to your brain, but all other things are fed in your brain, the missing components the brain creates. That's another one funny thing. For example, here 10 informations are fed into your system, like the beautiful incense smell, and the voice from me, and little noise from the fan, and the scene. So if 10 informations are getting into your brain to create this experience, even if one is missing, 9 informations are fed into your brain through the computer. You will be surprised, your brain will be going through the same experience. Then how do you call this is something real and there is something called illusion? No. They go on producing so many other researches. The research is done on dream state, research is done on waking state, research is done on deep sleep state. Very clearly, scientifically, they are proving how whatever you experience, including the idea of your body, you experience only in the parietal lobe. Understanding that whatever you call as reality is experienced in parietal lobe as illusion, and ability to feel something beyond this illusion, and ability to merge, relax into something beyond this illusion is Bhakti. I am defining Bhakti, understand? Bhakti is where you see whatever is seen and experienced, including your body, as illusion, and ability to see beyond this illusion, resting into something which is beyond this illusion, is Bhakti. Means how many times you remember and you know that you are going to die, whatever you are creating is going to be left behind. How many times you know it, but there is something inside you gives you a strong courage, guts feeling, no, I am going to exist. I am going to be there. I am eternal. There is something in all of us which is responsible for making us forget about our death, about our impermanence, about our non-existence. That streak, that line, that part which is in you, that part which reflects in you, becomes alive, becomes more in you when you start understanding this, whatever you call as reality is illusion. Please understand, if you think this is reality, that part which gives you the courage that you are going to be, your reality, looks like illusion. If you empower that more, this will look like illusion. In the books describing meditation techniques, especially the techniques for Advaitic experience, Vedantic experience, they have a technique. Feel like from the backside of your head, there is like whole thing, there is a huge screen. Means whatever you are seeing is, this is the way you are seeing. From the behind, which you are seeing, there is a huge screen. Whatever you are seeing, the whole world is a movie going on in that screen. If you have seen the IMAX theater, you can visualize what I am saying. In the IMAX theater, except your backside, the whole thing is covered. Just visualize you are sitting in an IMAX theater. From backside of your head, there is a huge IMAX screen. And whatever you are seeing, experiencing is running in that IMAX screen. In the Vedantic tradition, there is a technique to visualize like that and constantly witness. And they say 3 days of witnessing like this will completely heal your liver. Liver is the place where your strongest engrams stay, intellectual engrams. You can say duplicate intellectual, pseudo-intellectual engrams. I used to wonder, why such a description? From the backside of the head, huge screen, and the whole thing is just happening in that screen. And the funny thing is, this example is described in scriptures when there was no movie on the screen. I am really wondering how they would have visualized. Of course, in those days there was another one kind of a play. In the white cloth, they will make shadows, and with that shadows they will play dramas and show. Maybe because of that visualization, they are able to give this example. With hands, they will create shadows and show as if deer running and a hunter running. It's an art. In those olden days, there was a art. This was a nightlife. Vedic tradition is one of the tradition which had a very rich nightlife. I am studying just some of the researchers, how missing Vedic style nightlife was responsible for the destruction of our whole civilization. How the Western civilizations took over. First, if you want to penetrate into any civilization, first penetrate as nightlife. That is the best way. That is the easiest vulnerable way. Human beings are vulnerable in night and their activities in the nightlife. Their actions in the nightlife. What they do for fun. What they feel as fun. What we felt as fun. What we felt as joy. what we used to do for fun was the first goal of intellectual war, civilizational war done on Vedic tradition. That is the most vulnerable part. If somehow that part can be destroyed, take away the Bharatanatyam, take away the traditional music, take away the traditional joys, take away all the traditional drinks, infuse your civilization's drinks, your civilization's dance, their civilization's dressing, their civilization's ideas about enjoyment, their civilization's idea about sex. When all those things are infused, suddenly people find Vedic tradition is useless. Anything useless is useless. This is the way I can say one of the biggest attack happened on Vedic tradition. If you look back, we had a very rich nightlife, very juicy nightlife. Even the nightlife was centered on enlightenment, the thread of enlightenment. It was always, early morning was entrainment, whole day was enlightenment, and night was entertainment. That was the way our civilization was built, but everything is on yen. The yen was the eternal component. Eternal need, eternal necessity. Unfortunately, the Vedic nightlife got lost. Communication happens only with the nightlife. Dialogue happens only in the nightlife. Whatever you do in the daytime is monologue and business. There will never be a dialogue. A community will never be built when there is no nightlife. See the whole society, wherever the group of communities exists, there is something nightlife. That creates small team, group, friends. Vedic tradition had a very rich nightlife. This visualization has come from the Vedic nightlife. The visualization of huge screen from your back, and the whole thing is just projected in that. If you practice this technique, it will straight away lead to Vedantic experience, because it's a reality. And understanding beyond the screen, beyond these illusions, there is something which you may not be able to grasp by the mind which you are having now, which is more grass. There are some things which you can't understand with this mind. All the mind which you guys are carrying, all of you are carrying a kind of a middle class mind. How you can't understand some of the great sacred sentiments, same way you can't understand some of the worst sentiments also. The other day I was reading an article. Some of the attenders in the mortuary of the government hospitals, in the night time, they drink so much, they will go and have sex with the dead bodies. No, the moment I say, you can't grasp this, how can this be possible? No, you can't grasp. When I read that article, even I was shaken. See, just I wanted to tell you this sentiment because your mind is a middle class mind. It cannot understand some of the lowest sentiments and highest sentiments. I wanted to tell you this information just to make you understand there are some things which you can't grasp. God, how can? How is it? Just like how you are unable to grab Manikavasagar, unable to click with Meera, unable to align yourself with Andal, how you are unable to meet Meera and align with Andal. You can't grab this idea. It is too low for you. See, there are some sentiments you can't grab if it is too low for you or too high for you. So you need to understand, just because you can't grab that sentiment, don't think that does not exist. We are not able to grab, but it is. Same way, there are sacred sentiments. We are not able to grab, but it is. Same way, there is a reality beyond this illusion. We may not be able to grasp now, but it is. It exists. The person who is able to feel it is and able to rest in that truth, the ability to rest in the truth is bhakti. The trust that it exists is vidarka. Bhakti is song of the God. If you have it, understand, the greatest thing God can contribute to the cosmos is given to you. You have the ultimate gift in your life. Don't bother towards whom you have. Don't bother. If you have bhakti towards just a small stone, that's enough. Towards whom you have does not matter at all. If it is towards a man or a woman or a stone, anything is okay. God or Guru, anything is okay. Or just symbol of Guru, anything is okay. I saw one of the religious leader, very sincere person. He used to carry a small murti of his Guru or whom he feels as God. Always he will have that deity and worship continuously. Once in the travel, just that box in which he kept the murti fell. I could see his whole body perturbed, shaken. He is just falling, doing 12 namaskars to the deity and asking for apology. It is not seen, he just feeling. I thought, oh God. He is not an uneducated man or anything. He is an highly intellectual, and I can say the Forbes magazine has said he is one of the 100 most influential people in the world. I am talking about Pramukh Swami Maharaj, head of the Swaminarayan Sampradaya. I could see his whole body radiating that sacred sentiment. The deity is God. I thought, oh God. What a scene to be seen. Such an extraordinary sacred sentiment in human body. Very difficult to grasp. For any normal man, okay, when you do puja, visualize it is God, and after you finish the puja, pack it and put it and forget about it, do next work, and next day again when you open up, oh Guru Patuka. In Tamil we have a proverb, only when you see the husband you will find out whether the Mangalya is there or not. So understand, with anything, if you feel beyond the screen, there is a reality, an ability to relax into it, you have bhakti. And the ultimate song God can sing is singing in your life. As I said, breeze is the song of the air. Flower is the song of the plant. Fruit is the song of the tree. Wave is the song of the ocean. Light is the song of the sun. Life is song of the consciousness. Creativity is song of the man. Bhakti is song of the God. Bhakti is song of the God. Let you all live that song, not just listening, live that song. Let you all live and radiate enlightenment. Let you all achieve, experience, live, express and radiate the eternal bliss, Nityananda.
So beautiful how Swamiji describes Bhakti as a song of God. Yeah, I'm like, it is so beautiful to hear your experiences, your journey of Bhakti, and how literally Swamiji has been guiding you throughout. And as you said, being really patient also with you. What are your most sweetest experiences that you had with Swamiji? Your experience of Bhakti with Swamiji?
Oh, well, there are many experiences, ma. I'll probably before I go there, I think this is one thing that Swamiji mentioned in the discourse previously. I just wanted to touch upon that about the 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 fun activities and the nightlife where Swamiji was talking about that discourse. What I've also realized is along the way with Swamiji, and just just because involving, and it's not like if I do puja, if I'm visiting a temple or anything. It's just that because I started to enjoy Swamiji's being so much, the way he is and what it is. I think it's probably because of that, and enjoying the bhakti space too much. I started to disconnect from a lot of things that the normal societal tendencies was described as fun. So before, my idea of a good song was something that would come in a Hollywood or a Bollywood song, something a movie song elsewhere. But now my taste has completely transformed. If the song is not about Shiva, Vishnu, or any other, or Swamiji, then I don't. Yeah, it's a good song. Okay, fine. So the as as I progress, as I go along in this path, or just probably just make some pretend to, if I am doing something, Swamiji is kind of Swamiji has not only just given me the bhakti, the bliss, the emotion, and the feeling of a restfulness in me, but has also changed my very taste of what I call as fun, what I call as enjoyment at a very basic level. It's something that has come from organically from within, which is now much more dharmic, much more Vedagmic in tradition. And this might sound like oh, this is just word, or this is a part of a tradition or anything. But what this has resulted, the practical aspect of this is I'm doing much better in my professional life. I am much doing in my financial life, and I'm much more, most of all, I'm much doing much better in my physical health life. So in every physical and psychological both, in every level, just because of these small changes in in what I call as fun, be it eating, watching, listening, all those small transformations that Swamiji helped me, guided me, and patiently waited me to go through, has resulted in all those practical changes in my life. So yes, I just wanted to touch upon that. That's one of the most practical aspects that I see, physically, that I can, I can intellectually explain as to what is the outcome of that. But I think I have had many experiences with Swamiji in that space. Very recently, when I was in PSS, I was, and this is kind of probably slightly longer incident, because I have to walk you through what my state of mind was at the time. So when I went to the program in Los Angeles, in LA Temple, I had this longing for some kind of a miracle. Like, oh, I just want to, maybe I'll see Swamiji's Divya Sharira. Oh, maybe this will happen. Maybe just some. I was kind of open for anything that might happen. But I had a longing for what I called at the time was a miracle. Oh, I want to have some miracle. And as I went there, the program proceeded. I forgot all about it. I was enjoying the program so much, Swamiji there, and everything was fine. Um, in the second last day, we were doing the morning yoga. And this was, we used to do the 2 hour very relaxed form of yoga, with each asana, the acharyas are guiding us into the posture. And that day it was mostly sitting posture, so it was not much of standing up or getting into any asanas by getting out of the mat. So we were doing some some sitting asanas, and I'm the yoga session is for 2 hours, and I'm already 1 hour 5 minutes into it. Okay, so I've been on that mat doing this yoga for 5 minutes, 1 hour 5 minutes into it, and we do the so in the yoga component, as probably most of us who do the yoga know, but for anybody who doesn't know, in the yoga components, there are multiple components of yoga. You're the physical asana, there's a visualization, there is a pranayama, there's a mantra chanting. So all those components, the acharya was guiding us through, and the visualization of that asana was, visualize there is a temple of Swamiji in your heart. And after doing yoga for 1 hour, it was already, my body was already in a much relaxed way. It was completely relaxed. It was very blissful. Physically, I was, all joints were stretched out and everything was good. And I went into that asana and I visualized Swamiji's temple in my heart. And suddenly, a rush of the bhakti, rush of that bliss, just I could feel it going in. And I'm looking at Swamiji's Swamiji's photo sitting in front of us in the on the swing, and I'm just melting away in place and having a very nice time. So we're sitting in cross leg in Gomukhasana. If anybody doesn't know, so it's basically you fold your legs and cross your legs on top of each other, and then you twist on one side. Then we had to do a bunch of other things and repeat the same asana on the other side. So we stretched our legs and did the other side. And the next time when I came to that, the same thing, the same visualization was repeated. And this time the experience was even much more stronger than the last time. And I don't know when the Acharya said, okay, come out of the asana. I just opened my eyes and I saw a Rudraksha sitting right in the middle of my mat. And Now I'm looking left, right, and center. This might have jumped from here, this might have jumped from there. And I'm like, I'm trying to exhaust all the logical answers to how that Rudraksha would be there. It's a single Rudraksha is just sitting, and I'm noticing, and I've not even come out of the asana, even though everybody's moving along. I'm just looking at that Rudraksha. I was like, where did it just come from? And then I said, oh, maybe this, that has happened, this has happened. And then I also, the same logical mind is going through it, and I'm trying to understand, but like what kind of sort of the logical mind exhausted upon is, okay, I have been on this asana, on this mat for 1 hour. I know because we are just going from here to there. I have not moved my legs outside of the mat, so there's nothing I could have just pulled out. I know I've not fallen. Nothing could have come in, and this Rudraksha is sitting right at the middle, on the length and the breadth. Like I clicked a picture and I used the measurement. There are apps which you can measure the object distance. I measured it. It was sitting right at the center of the mat. And I'm like, wow. And that was the moment I realized, oh, I had asked for this miracle when I came into this program. And that is when, just the emotion of bhakti, the love and everything just started to overflow and just completely overtake. I have had many strong experiences, but this was the most recent and one of the most miraculous for me. And so I just picked this one. But like this, there have been multiple, uh, experiences like that. I described the hug experience before, and it was like like these are the things that I can probably not put in. I would never be able to put in words. It's an experience, so I cannot really transform it into words. But this was something. Now I kind of understand, what is that state of bhakti, that state of love and oneness which Swamiji is. And then just, when I was there enjoying with it, Swami just gave me a Rudraksha. So as I'm describing it, I'm just getting a little emotional about it. But, it's like with Swamiji and with this whole spiritual journey that I'm with, and I continue to be with Swamiji. Just like these kind of miracles are, just always there. Just they just keep on shining and brightening of everything in me and around me. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Each and every experience that you're sharing is so beautiful and so much to enjoy. Thank you for sharing that. Actually, Aya, you mentioned the PSS, which is the Paramashiva Sena program. It's a 30-day program that has been ongoing since January of this year. It's a completely free program conducted, and now presently it is happening in Antigua and Barbuda. It's to become the ambassador of Paramashiva, a special training program that is being gifted by Swamiji. So for those who are watching, you can register for this program by going to kailasa.org/PSS. It's a 30-day program, absolutely given free. And the yoga session that Aya is mentioning is from this program. The whole day, it's a jam-packed program with beautiful activities, starting with yoga in the morning, followed by puja and beautiful sessions. And of course, darshan with Swamiji. And 30-day, a complete transformation for yourself, not only for yourself to experience this, the oneness space, the Paramadvaita, but also to radiate in different levels, in the social, moral, cultural, in various dimensions, to living it permanently. So that is a gift from Swamiji to all of us. And the great news is, from August, this program is going to happen both in Los Angeles as well as in Antigua. So for those who waited to attend in Los Angeles and thought, oh God, now the program is happening in Antigua, I'm not able to travel. Now the program is back in Los Angeles. So please do register. And we do have some viewers watching, many from around the world. Nithyanandam, Ma Madhushri, Ma Minky, Pravinaya, Nithyanandam, KAILASA, San Jose, Marimutaya, and many more watching. Thank you all for watching, and please continue and stay tuned as we hear more beautiful stories and also powerful cognitions, understanding from Swamiji about Bhakti itself. So as we are continuing this discussion, Aya, how was life for you before Swamiji and after Swamiji. Like just now you said, after meeting Swamiji, it is miracles are a part of life in unexpected places. I mean, when doing yoga asana, you're probably not expecting to just melt in devotion and a Rudraksha appearing in the mat, the middle of the mat. So this has become, this is literally a part of life for us where just Swamiji is just, oh God, you cannot explain like where some or the other miracle is happening. And some of the other ways Swamiji is taking care, or some of the other, whether it is work, at home, or in friendship, in relationship, in any aspect, Swamiji is there taking care, and some or the other, beautiful incidents happen, miracles happen. So, could you share, Aya, how was life before Swamiji, and how is life now after meeting Swamiji?
That's a very black and white question for me, Ma. Actually, I'm kind of probably one of the. I would very strongly say that looking at my life before meeting with Swamiji, like I initially I spoke about my experiences in the temple, and I had good. I was associated. I was always in love with Shiva and the temple and everything, but if I have to sort of very, very clearly and very honestly summarize it, before meeting Swamiji, I felt like the life was not really worth living. It's only after meeting Swamiji, I realized that okay, now it's really worth something. It's really worth living and enjoying the way it's supposed to be. And it's not for the fact that any of these experiences, but before that it was like I was sleepwalking in life, and after meeting Swamiji, it's like Swamiji woke me up, and now I'm waking and looking around and mesmerized with life and really enjoying it. So, I mean, bhakti is definitely one of those dimensions. It's one of the core components. But overall, in anything, the way I used to see and perceive the world and the way I perceive the world now, it's like it's a difference between day and night. And yeah, I mean, there are so many things I can probably put across, but I think if I have to summarize this, I would very clearly say, I mean, if I have just to put myself in that position again, I would very clearly say before Swamiji, meeting Swamiji, it was not really worth anything. Only after Swamiji, meeting with Swamiji, it has started to mean something. And it's not just that I'm doing better in all dimensions of life, but most importantly, the level of fulfillment that I get in each and every activity in life, be it my puja, be it my yoga, be it my work, be it anything in my relationships, the the level of fulfillment is very deep, and everything and it has also given me the courage to take bold steps in life, because I know every time. So what happens is, what happened to my life at least is, before meeting Swamiji, I was kind of getting into a rut of the daily rat race, daily lifestyle, however the societal conditioning goes. And I was kind of, getting completely adjusted and depressed into that. But after Swamiji, that is when I realized, okay, this is not even not even worth looking at. There are so many things. There's so much more to life. There's so much more to myself than what I had really learned as part of this process. And I was talking about the samskara dahana kriya, all the completion processes that we went through, and more than that, Swamiji's diksha, the Shakti darshans, the we were able to get the physical Shakti darshans, and that is it's like it's very difficult for me to really put in words again, kind of for the most part, but I would just say it's like every time I go through, I take the jump towards any new program that Swamiji is starting, or any new initiative that Swamiji is starting. Every time I take that, I may take that courage within me and take that jump. I always come out very transformative. And every time I kind of see, okay, this is the new me, this is the new me. And it's an ongoing onwards journey, which is very life positive and very fulfilling in general.
Yes, so beautifully said, Aya. Actually, one of the important things that you mentioned is that before you met Swamiji, you were sleepwalking. And when Swamiji came into your life, he woke you up. Literally, I mean, it is pretty scary out there, how we lived life before meeting Swamiji. I felt like before meeting Swamiji, life was like a zombie. You are sleepwalking and you're under the societal pressure, the society, which ensures that you're sleepwalking, that you should not be woken up, because if you wake up, then you will not, fall into that fear or greed. You will, so what is out there is really scary, of literally people sleepwalking and playing that whole fear and greed, which the politicians, or they keep you under that control for whichever interest, whether it is media. They ensure that you're not woken up so that they can play with your fear and greed. And every moment, life with Swamiji, where he's continuously waking you up to the truth of who you really are. You are Paramashiva. Like Swamiji said, he's not here to prove that he is God. He's here to prove that we are God. And relentlessly, Swamiji ensures that we are, we are continuously reminded, you are Paramashiva. And like you said, that fulfillment of enjoying, truly who we are. And again, Swamiji does not give a lecture or, oh, this is what it is, this is what the scripture says. No, he makes it as an experience for us. And literally, life is so celebrative after meeting Swamiji, because you're truly living who you are. And that is a blessing that each and every one of us have, living with Swamiji, living around Swamiji, blessed by Swamiji. So there are beautiful, miracles that happen in each and every one of our life, literally day in and day out. Something or the other happens where, we experience these miracles. So thank you, Aya, for sharing. I do have another question. Yes. So, like, you're experiencing Bhakti in various levels. How does Bhakti go beyond belief or emotion, or and become biomemory? Like, it becomes a deep part of you. Like, at some level, growing up, it would be an emotional level connection to a deity, or a belief or idea about a deity. And then where Swamiji makes it an experience of biomemory, of your own biomemory. How is your experience?
Okay. I think I could probably, if I could describe my first Kundali awakening process, that would be my strongest belief. Like Swamiji said, like in the previous satsang, the previous discourse of Swamiji was saying, like the restfulness that there is something there to take care of me. That sort of got bolted in with my first Kundali awakening, and when I was in Ujjain Kumbh Mela. So I was there out of I was just going through a very rough patch in life, and I had attended a couple of courses with Swamiji, a couple of online courses, two-way courses from Atlanta in US, and I just decided, I spoke to a couple of my friends who were devotees, and I just spoke to them about Ujjain, and I decided to go. The moment I landed there, the next day I got a heat stroke and I started having fever. So I will give you two, probably two examples in that. First was when the first Kundali awakening happened. I was I was on high fever. There was at 7 p.m., 7:30 p.m., and then suddenly they announced, or maybe much later actually, it was probably around close to 9, I think. I correct myself. And I was not really able to move around. I was having a very high fever at the time, and I was not really able to move around. And I was just trying to lie down, just took some medication, trying to lie down, and I suddenly heard somebody saying, "Oh, Swamiji is doing a Shivoham process. Let's go, doing a Shivoham process." I don't know what a Shivoham process is, and I'm feeling very sick. I don't know. I'm going to go. And then again, one of the volunteers or sannyasi, I don't remember at the time, and he said, "No, no, come, you come, just sit there. You don't have to do anything. Just sit there." And I was like, "I cannot sit. I have to lie down." It's like, "Okay, come and lie down there." So I just went and I just sat there, and the process is going on. I don't. This is my first process. This is my first experience in person. And there's a, Swamiji's there. There's a music, and I don't know what is going on. Everybody around me is very happy, and I'm here. I'm sitting there, miserable, sick. Probably 102 fever, and I don't know what is going on. And after probably half of the program has already gone by, and I'm again feeling miserable. And then suddenly a bolt of energy just goes from the base of my spine to my head, and I just start laughing for no reason. And I'm aware that I'm laughing, and I'm laughing more that I'm laughing for no reason. So it kind of makes that virtuous circle. And I'm thinking, if by this laughing, which is no longer in my control, and I'm laughing because of the fact that if I tell this to anybody, they will laugh at me that I'm just delirious or laughing like that. And you know so by the time that program happened, I was kind of my fever had settled down. I was energetic, I was feeling much better, and everything was it was like, okay, the feeling suddenly kicked in. Okay, everything is going to be okay. And that was my first experience towards, okay, this is, I know there's something beyond me which is taking care of everything. I don't really have to worry about anything. And there was another situation like that. A couple of days later, I was feeling better after the process, and then I went outside. Didn't listen to the people around me. I went outside, got another heat stroke, and then I got another round of fever. And I'm just one of the afternoons, I'm sitting, drinking, hydrating, and talking to the friend who kind of sort of through whom Swamiji introduced himself to me. I'm talking to him, and I'm just we had a session, and then the curtains closed in Kumbh Mela, and then we just kind of started talking to each other, and we are just waiting for lunch or something. And I told him that, see, if my fever doesn't get fixed for good in another 2 hours, or maybe by today evening, I will have to go back. And this guy is looking at me and is like, yeah, if you look very miserable, yeah, I think you should go back and whatever. So the moment he said that, suddenly curtains open and Swamiji is sitting there. And then he jokingly says, "Oh, Swamiji is there. He might be listening to us." And I'm like, "Yeah, yeah, ha, 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 yeah, this and that." So Swami started the session. By the time session ended, another 45 minutes or an hour, I don't remember how long it was, I had no fever. And by the evening, my weakness was kind of sort of almost gone. And from that day onwards, I never had fever. Just the next day, I was talking to the same person, and he told me, "See, Swamiji listened to you, and now he is making sure that you don't run away." So, the kind of tantrum that we throw in life, but still the cosmos, the love that Swamiji has, it kind of still keeps us in that cushioned situations, like, "Don't worry, my child, I'm there, they're taking care of." And the beauty of all of this is, he's only interfering, not interfering is probably not the right word, but he's only transforming us up to the limit that we are comfortable with the moment, because he knows if we go beyond that, we'll just run away. And so he's also, it's his patience, his compassion, and everything. That is, those are the experiences which, and again, I mentioned I'm a slow learner. I go through these experiences, and after a while, I sort of realize their resounding meaning in my life. And that is again and again, kind of uh, inspires me to understand the fact that I am taken care of. like Swamiji says, you are the favorite inheritor of cosmos. That experience, that understanding becomes, emboldened more and more. And even today, if I'm going through some really tough personal situation, or what I perceive as tough or very, threatening, or something that I'm fearful of, I remind myself of those same experiences and tell myself that because Swamiji is there, this time it is going to be different. Versus before Swamiji, again, to answer going to the previous question again, this was not there before Swamiji. The fear, the greed and fear was so strong, and now there might still be greed, of course. I want to earn more money, but the fear is no longer there. Like anything that I'm fearful of, I just suddenly remember Swamiji. I drop it at his feet. He's there. He'll take care of it. So that is one of the, I mean, I know all of all of the devotees that have the same experience and do that, but each of us have these unique experiences, and for me, these are the experiences that always keep me in that same space, that oneness, and that oneness connection with Swamiji.
Yes, yes, I actually, that is one of the greatest gifts that we have is Swamiji has taken away our insecurities of fear about life. Swamiji is there, Swamiji will take care. But actually, if you see in the outside world, even like, in a day-to-day life, if your husband or wife is delayed from work, we would think the worst possible things might have happened to them. Oh God, what if it happened? What if her phone, she's not answering? We would think the worst things and suffer until that person, oh, I had just, my phone was dead, nothing, I'm fine. But by the time we get in touch, so much the person goes through. This is just one example. But literally in every dimension of life, literally the people out there go through hell of like insecurities and fear and whatnot. When being disciples of Swamiji, we have nothing, none of that ever even touches. I sometimes feel out, if without Swamiji, even if there is a grass, we would fall down and say, cry, oh God, this happened, that happened, biggest problem I have in life. But with Swamiji, even if a lightning strikes, you just shrug it off and say, oh, whatever, Swamiji will take care. That is the that is the level of love, compassion, care that Swamiji has given us, like nothing literally touches. So we don't need to worry about our, we don't need to worry. That's it. End of story. And Swamiji gives each and every one of us, whether it is bhakti that clicks with you, whether it is knowledge that clicks with you, or if it is yoga, every possible paths, techniques, solutions that Swamiji gives. Now we are going to listen to Swamiji, where Swamiji says, dance your way to divinity. That is one thing every one of us have fun. Now let us listen to Swamiji when he is sharing dance your way to divinity.
Shankaracharya Madhyama Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam. I welcome you all with my love and respects. Today's subject for satsang is devotion, dance your way to divinity. As you are all aware, I am continuing my series on the sacred sentiments, devotion and bhakti. Today is Kartika Deepa Brahmotsava Dvajarohana, the first day of the Kartika Deepam Brahmotsavam starts in Dhyanapeetam and in Arunachala. Dance your way to divinity. If you are walking, you are not going towards divinity. Be very clear. If you are walking, you are just dragging your body. If you are walking, it is always towards graveyard. If you are dancing, it is always towards divinity. Any reason, if you are dancing, you are moving towards divinity. Understand? Of course, not with the drugs or alcohol. Without drugs or alcohol, any reason you have joy or ecstasy and you are dancing, you are moving towards divinity. Even if it is ordinary, simple, worldly reason, you are filled with joy and dancing, understand, you are moving with divinity, towards divinity. No doubt. You are moving towards divinity. Ramakrishna says very beautifully, if there are a lot of birds on a tree, if you clap your hands standing below the tree, all the birds will fly away. Same way, if you are clapping your hands and dancing, all the karmas in your heart will fly away. It's a very colloquial village example, but I tell you, it's truth. Not just Ramakrishna says, thousands, I don't know how many, hundreds or thousands, long ago, at least few centuries ago, when Jnana Sambandar sings, Aadi paadi annamalai kaithoda odipom namadu ulla vinaigalé. The load you carry in the heart, he says, the exact translation is, if you sing and dance and worship Arunachala, all the load and suffering in the heart, the karmas in the heart, will just run away. Even Bhagavatam describes Kirtanam as one of the important way towards enlightenment. At one step, Bhagavatam goes to the extreme of Kirtanam is the only way for Kali Yuga. In Kali Yuga, only the Kirtanam, singing and dancing, his name is the only way to achieve liberation. Narada very beautifully describes the different expressions of devotion. Shravanam kirtanam chasya smaranam mahatam gate savejyavanati darshyam saravyam atma samarpanam. Hearing about him, singing his praise, remembering him always, attending on him, taking care of him, worshipping him, saluting him, practicing the attitude of servitude towards him, developing loving intimacy with him, and surrendering oneself to him. God. I think Narada is giving a complete, comprehensive description of devotion. I can say trying to. You can't touch devotion. Devotion is the subject, uncorrupted by any words. How many people try? Actually, there are hundreds of sutras written on yoga after Patanjali's Yoga Sutra. Hundreds of books on Vedanta after the Brahma Sutra Bhashya, after the Brahma Sutras. So many people go on write if any one book becomes a hit, super hit. It's like once the book Power of Now becomes super hit, then Practicing Power of Now, one edition comes out. Like that in the modern day, how bestsellers, if they become a bestseller, then The same author comes up with the different books under the same title with the same theme. Chicken Soup for Soul. If that book, when that book has become super hit, now there are hundreds of volumes on chicken soup for the soul, chicken soup for the grandmother's soul, chicken soup for the teenager's soul, chicken soup for mother-in-law's soul, chicken soup for daughter-in-law's soul, really. Just like this Tamil TV serials. Once the Siddhi become super hit, then Anni, Orpadi, Mamiyar, Marumagal. Same way, when a book becomes super hit, naturally hundreds of books will be written in the same theme and the title and the look and feel of the same trend. But you will be shocked. There is no book after Narada's Bhakti Sutra on Bhakti. Because everybody understood the failure of Narada. It's a great attempt, but never he is able to, not only he, nobody can catch Bhakti. Nobody can catch Bhakti in words. It is just an ecstasy, breeze, comes and makes your whole life romantic and gives you a kind of a extraordinary overflowing, churning and experience. And if your nervous system is not strong enough to hold, it just settles down, that's all. But even if it settles down, it settles down as a tremendous wisdom and energy. Nobody was able to capture Bhakti. Even the greatest devotee, Narada, tried. I can say here also he is trying to only describe the expressions of Bhakti. The very experience itself, I don't think anybody can catch. Shravanam kirtanam chasya smaranam mahatam gate Save Javanati Darsyam Saravyam Atma Samarpanam. Hearing about him, singing his praise, remembering him always, attending on him, worshipping him, saluting him, practicing the attitude of servitude towards him, developing loving intimacy with him, and surrendering oneself to him. Nine different process, different expressions to experience Bhakti. In these nine, Kirtanam is also one. Singing and dancing is also one. The second is Kirtanam. First Sravanam, remembering. Then second, singing is praise. Singing and dancing together is called Kirtanam. In these nine, other than Kirtanam, all eight, what I said, attending on him, worshipping him, saluting him, all the other eight is like a breeze, comes, gives you the extraordinary romance experience, and it will settle down. All other eight are not techniques, but the Kirtanam is a technique. Means you can practice it. You can practice it to experience Bhakti. Because it makes your nervous system strong to hold the Bhakti experience forever and ever and ever. Just today morning, one of my disciples, she was asking, the Sarvadarshan, what is the way and how much we should do this weightlifting and hatha yoga, the physical activity, and what we should think during that activity. I was telling her, try to retain the witnessing awareness, the maximum awareness when you do this physical activity like weightlifting or hatha yoga or pranayama, any physical activity. Because whatever idea you retain in your inner space becomes part of you during the physical activity. It becomes your biomemory. In Kirtanam, you are already remembering him, singing and dancing. So he becomes your biomemory. He becomes your biomemory. When I say he, I mean God or consciousness or pure awareness, anything you can use. Guru, whatever. Whatever you feel as higher than you, highest. That's what I mean by the word he. Kirtanam, dancing your way to the divine, to the divinity. Can be a very powerful technique. It just makes you a light being. Ramakrishna again and again says, he had some of the educated disciples. When there is a kirtanam, singing and dancing, they will not dance because of the prestige and the social thing. He will tease them. He will tease them. Kirtanam makes you a light being. I tell you, carry a light being. Nothing can touch you. Nothing can touch you. Just a light being. Always carry a light being. Understand, I am defining character. Character means carrying a light being. That's all. Nothing else is character. Understand, nothing else is character. Each fellow who want to exploit you gives his own idea about character. I am telling you, all ideas about character is lies. Carrying a light being is character. Character can never be defined by whether you smoke or drink or womanize or use alcohol. All those things are habits. Habit is different, character is different. Understand? Habit is different. Here I am not talking about habit. I am not saying drinking, smoking and all is right. Please understand. No. I am not encouraging drinking, smoking, womanizing. No. I am not encouraging. I am not saying all those things are right or wrong. No. I am only saying they have nothing to do with your character. They are habits. Character means carrying a light being. Very light being, simple being. The moment I say this, I can remember only one person, my father. Today is his Mahasamadhi day. As we all know that we celebrate in our Sangha today as Mahaparinirvana day, the day of liberating all the disciples who left the body after taking initiation and after attending NSP. So today we remember and liberate and celebrate all the disciples who left the body after attending NSP, after having that Nirvikalpa initiation, Nirvikalpa Samadhi Diksha. He is such a light being, liberating him was not a big job at all for me. In his whole inner space, nothing was there inside. There is no obstacle. There was nothing holding. I tell you, carrying a light being is liberation. Only a person who carries a light being will be able to sing and dance. And whenever you can, just have some divine music which inspires you. Go on spending time, at least half an hour a day. You can make time. Or at least 3-4 times a week. I don't want you to make it as a rigid routine. Then again it will become a routine. No. Whenever you find time, just sing and dance wildly. Your whole being will become such a light being. Carry light being. You will not be a soil where the negativity breeds. Brooding mind is breeding soil for negativity. Kirtanam will destroy brooding over. I have seen. Only reason for the disciples falling from the path is brooding over. If this happens, what will happen? If that happens, what will happen? If that happens, what will happen? If that happens, what will happen? Die. If you think more than 3 steps, be very clear. Already brooding over has started. You need kirtanam. You need singing and dancing. Shravanam kirtanam chasya. Such an extraordinary description. Remembering and dancing. Smaranam mahatam gate. Hearing, singing, remembering, attending on him. It's really difficult. A male can write such a detailed description of a bhakti. I really suspect Narada may not have been male. At least in the inner space. Such, because the attending and male consciousness is completely two opposite extremes. All these other methods are more like expressions. You can't do anything to have it. But kirtanam, you can do it. It can not only create the experience of bhakti in you, it can help you to hold the bhakti experience on your biomemory, on your nervous system. I think I have to end my discourses on the sacred sentiments today, because it is again and again I am stuck for words. I am not able to talk, not because I don't have anything to tell. I have too much to tell. When it comes to bhakti, I have too much to tell. Today especially, the day of Arunachala, the Brahmotsavam starts. Just on that one line, Adi Padi Annamalai Kaidoda Odipom Namadu Ulla Vinegale, can go on expanding. But I don't know where to start, and I don't know when I will end. So more than giving expressions and descriptions, I'll end with a technique. This whole series of sacred sentiments, I'll end with giving you a solid technique. Experience of Nataraja, Kirtanam, Chaitanya. Experience of Chaitanya and Nataraja, Meera and Manikkavasagar can happen in you just by singing and dancing in the name of the divine. Sing God or Guru's name and glory. Dance. Use this as a technique. I tell you, whatever sacred sentiments describe will be awakened in you. I remember when I was doing my Parivrajaka, in the road I will be just singing and dancing and walking for hours. On the ecstasy level, the joy and the bhakti gets created, and the stability, the days or months that experience stays inside the system is just unimaginable. You don't need anything from outer world to create pleasure in you. If you got the ecstasy, if you just got the taste, if you click with this Shravanam and Kirtanam, singing and dancing. Shravanam means listening, hearing. Kirtanam means singing and dancing. Singing and dancing not only creates the wave of devotion in you, your nervous system becomes so strong that wave of devotion settles in you. You retain the biomemory of devotion. So from tomorrow, I'll start the new important dimension of my avataric mission, Siddha. I'm going to start speaking on Siddha tradition. Not only the medicinal aspects of Siddha, Kriya, Siddhis, all other aspects and dimensions of Siddha tradition. I myself learnt Siddha very traditionally and formally, the dimension of Siddha medicine and dimension of creating different siddhis in the human body and in the outer world. And another one important thing, no other tradition in the world can claim this is the unique thing, unique contribution of the Siddha tradition awakening the non-mechanical parts of the brain through herbs and medicines. Understand? Only Siddha tradition was able to give spiritual experience through medicines and herbs. You may be shocked. How can a spiritual experience be given by something outside, a chemical, a herb? Siddhas were able to do. They will give you a set of ideas, means great truths, and ask you to contemplate and add some of the herbs. These ideas will become reality in you and get settled in your biomemory because of that effect of that medicine. And same way, Siddhas are able to create, able to give extraordinary powers to disciples just through the herbs. Patanjali describes Mani Mantra Aushada. Mani means great truths. Realizing the great truths will give you extraordinary power. And mantra means techniques. Practicing techniques will give you extraordinary powers. And the third important thing, Patanjali says, Aushada. Through proper medicines, you can achieve and experience extraordinary powers. Ayurveda can only cure your body through herbs, bring you back to health. But the Siddha tradition can give extraordinary powers to your body and mind just through herbs and medicines. From tomorrow, I'll start revealing the great secrets of Siddha tradition to the world. I think this is going to be one of the greatest contribution and one of the major dimension of my avataric mission. I'll revive Siddha tradition. Today, I end the series of sacred sentiments giving one of the powerful technique. Listen to the music, sounds, glory and praise of God or Guru who creates devotion, who stimulates devotion in your heart, and dance wildly using the whole body. Enjoy that music using the whole body. That's what I call dancing, kirtanam. At least 21 minutes. Let this become part of your lifestyle. You will carry a light being which is soaked in devotion always. All the sacred sentiments will constantly be experienced and expressed in your system. So I bless you all to experience kirtanam and experience and radiate enlightenment. Let you all achieve, experience, live, express, radiate the eternal bliss, Nithyananda. Thank you.
It's another beautiful satsang for Swamiji. To carry a light being. Swamiji says character means to have a light being. And Swamiji does not leave it right there, right? He says how to get that light being. Just not through serious meditation technique, anything. Just by dancing, by remembering Swamiji, by remembering your Guru or God. Just simply dance and you get the light being. So beautiful. Yeah, what is the powerful cognition that you got from the satsangs we listened today?
Well, I think all my experiences kind of, I did not listen to this satsang before, so all my experiences suddenly start to make sense now. When Swamiji said what Swamiji mentioned about the song, so my very first song, how Shiva caught me or probably helped me realize him in the temple so many years ago. And even today, when Swamiji's darshan is going on, and the sound, so the sound is the song is playing, just kind of melting away with tears and ecstasy of the whole body just melting away in bliss. uh, uh, I think for me it kind of makes more sense now more than anything, because these are the things I experienced now. I've Swamiji has beautifully put it in words. So yeah, I all the experiences. I think one of the things that Swamiji mentioned, which I've kind of recently started connecting with, and I think all of us should think about, is the Kirtan way. Like, it just doesn't matter how you sing, what you sing. You're singing, like, people are bathroom singers and stuff like that. But the more you sing about anything, any song that Shiva song or Vishnu song, Swamiji song, any song that you relate to, just start singing, and that puts you, so to speak, in a more colloquial word, puts you in the mood of bhakti, puts you in the mood of spiritual path. Oh, now suddenly I want to do more puja. Suddenly now I want to do more yoga. Suddenly now I want to sit and do meditation. So for me, I think the bhakti is the starting point for everything, and it just continues to go along. Even during meditation, even during yoga, I'm not just doing yoga, I'm also melting away in bhakti. I'm not just doing puja, I'm also melting away in bhakti. So just like that, I think that's the common core which just continues to move along with me in every dimension of my spiritual journey. And Kirtan is probably something I'm more inspired to pick it up next.
Nice, nice. Yeah, one last question I have. If you can say there's one breakthrough you had in your life after meeting Swamiji, in terms of your relationship, in terms of work, career, life, one breakthrough, what would that be?
I think I truly understood the meaning of responsibility. I think that's a very, very critical question and very important question. I sort of Swamiji answered in me, through me, after my inner awakening. Like, I understood the true meaning of responsibility, and it resolved so many conflicts in my life. And of course, that understanding only came through, like, I could come to that, stumble upon that breakthrough and stumble upon that understanding only because of the trust and everything that Swamiji has already empowered me with. And when I understood that I am responsible for everything that is around me, every being that is around me, that was probably one of the most profound understandings that I got about life in general. And since then, that understanding has only become deeper. It's not. I still feel like, even in the Paramashiva Sena program, when I went to LA, that understanding only got deeper. And I think I still have to peel more layers into what truly being responsible means, and how Swamiji, and I just kind of look up at Swamiji and how he's empowering all of us, and how he's taking responsibility of all of us, all of our lives, all of our security, job security, financial security, health security, everything that he's just taking care of. And we just simply, it's a common it's a common phrase that all of us sort of use. Oh, Swamiji knows. Oh, Swamiji will take care, right? We are able to say that because we know he is taking that responsibility. He will take care. It's not just something we're just saying out and about it. It's not true. And this is the most important breakthrough I think I have come across with. I've come to understand and realize in my life. Be responsible.
Thank you so much. Actually, what Swamiji says, right? It is not a burden. Responsibility is not a burden, but it's actually empowering. When we know that we are responsible, that means we know how to change it. We are the source, so we can change the life the way we want. So beautiful, Aya. Really had fun having you today, joining us and sharing your experiences and listening to Swamiji's satsang and sharing the powerful cognitions. So every single day we are actually enjoying listening to Swamiji's powerful cognitions in various aspects, various dimensions as Swamiji is guiding us through this Chaturmasya. We are celebrating the 45th Chaturmasya of our beloved Swamiji, listening to the satsangs, Swamiji's satsangs on various topics and having the powerful cognitions. And we have many viewers from around the world watching. Thank you all for watching, and please do post your powerful cognitions that you received today as we discussed about Bhakti, and listen to revelations about Bhakti from Swamiji. So thank you all for joining again, and we look forward to seeing you again tomorrow with more sharings and more satsangs from Swamiji and more powerful cognitions. Thank you so much, Aya, for joining, and enjoy your experiences. Thank you. Let's now close with the Purna Mantra. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat. Sarvam Bhagavat Shri Nithyananda Paramashivam Padukarpanamastu. Om Nithyanandam